लास्ट क्लास में हमने स्लिप फैक्टर, स्लिप, वर्क इनपुट फैक्टर एंड प्रेशर कोफिशिएंट देखा था। अब उससे रिलेटेड और जो पहले हमने पढ़ा था उससे रिलेटेड न्यूमेरिकल देखेंगे सेंट्रीफ्यूगल कंप्रेसर का। ओके, दो न्यूमेरिकल देखेंगे ऐसी क्लास में, दोनों ही न्यूमेरिकल काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। अ सेंट्रीफ्यूगल रनिंग एट 10,000 आरपीएम, मतलब एन की वैल्यू दी है, डिलीवर 660 मीटर क्यूब पर मिनट ऑफ फ्री एयर। यहाँ पे वॉल्यूम फ्लो रेट दिया, अभी तक क्या दे रहा था हमको, मास फ्लो रेट दे रहा था, केजी के फॉर्म में दे रहा था, यहाँ पे मीटर क्यूब के फॉर्म में दे रहा है। ठीक, मीटर क्यूब पर मिनट। The air is compressed from 1 bar at 20 degree centigrade to a pressure ratio of 4 with an isotropic efficiency 82%। तो यहाँ पे टोटल हेड के बारे में बात नहीं किया है, तो स्टैटिक प्रेशर दिया हुआ है P1, स्टैटिक टेम्परेचर दिया हुआ है T1, प्रेशर रेशियो दिया है 4 और आइसेंट्रोपिक एफिशिएंसी दी है 82%। ब्लेड्स आर रेडियल एट आउटलेट ऑफ द इम्पेलर एंड फ्लो वेलोसिटी 62 मीटर एंड मे बी एज्यूम थ्रू आउट कांस्टेंट। ठीक है, तो जो ब्लेड्स है वो रेडियल है और वेलोसिटी ऑफ फ्लो 62 मीटर पर सेकेंड है, मतलब CF1 और CF2 दोनों क्या है, 62 मीटर पर सेकेंड। द आउटर रेडियस ऑफ द इम्पेलर इज ट्वाइस द इनर रेडियस, मीन्स R2 is equal to twice of R1 and the slip factor may be assumed as 0.9. Slip factor means ratio of CW2 by CBL2, means velocity of one outlet divided by velocity of blade, the blade velocity at outlet 0.9 दिया रेशियो। द ब्लेड एरिया कोफिशिएंट में भी एज्यूम 0.9 at K। ठीक है, तो 0.9 ब्लेड एरिया कोफिशिएंट देखेंगे इससे क्या काम आता है अपने को, जो एरिया टोटल अपन एरिया लेते थे 2 पाई R1V1, यहाँ पे ब्लेड एरिया कोफिशिएंट को मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, आफ्टर दैट इट इज सेइंग टू कैलकुलेट फाइनल टेम्परेचर ऑफ एयर, मीन्स देन थ्योरेटिकल पावर, देन इम्पेलर डायमीटर एट इनलेट एंड आउटलेट D1 and D2, width of impeller at inlet D1, impeller blade angle at inlet and diffuser blade angle at inlet। diffuser blade angle at inlet means impeller blade angle at outlet। ओके, जो diffuser का inlet angle रहेगा वही impeller का outlet angle रहेगा। फाइनल टेम्परेचर ऑफ एयर मीन्स T2 की वैल्यू। ठीक है, तो स्टार्ट करते हैं अपन। ठीक, G1 n is equal to 10,000 rpm, V volume flow rate is equal to 660 meter cube per minute, T1 is given, T1 we have converted 20 degree centigrade into Kelvin, pressure ratio is given 4, isentropic efficiency 0.82, CF2 or can be written as well CF1 is 62 meter per second, R2 is equal to twice of R1, this factor is given 0.9, blade area coefficient that is K is 0.9। So let's start with first point, final temperature of air T2। We know that T2 dash by T1 is equal to pressure ratio Rp to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma, 4, Rp is given 4, substituting the value gamma we can take 1.4 and T1 is given, so with this formula we can directly get T2 dash। Okay, so T2 dash where we get 435.4 Kelvin। It means that T2 dash is the temperature at outlet of impeller when the process occurs isentropic, means isentropic temperature। Now but we have to calculate actual temperature, that is T2। so isentropic efficiency is given 82% and we know that isentropic efficiency is equal to isentropic temperature rise divided by actual temperature rise। so isentropic temperature rise will be T2 dash minus T1 and actual temperature rise will be T2 minus T1। T2 dash minus T1 isentropic temperature rise, T2 minus T1 actual temperature rise। so isentropic efficiency is given, T2 dash we just calculated, T1 is given, so we can calculate T2 from here and we get 466.7 Kelvin। Okay, so first point is clear। Second is theoretical power। What is theoretical power? First, to calculate theoretical power we first have to calculate mass flow rate। so consider this air is our working fluid, so air is the ideal fluid, we consider it as an ideal fluid, so we can apply PV is equal to MRT formula। so from here M is equal to PV by RT। inlet pressure is given 1 bar, volume it is given 660 meter cube per minute, so we have to convert it in meter cube per second। R is 287 and T is 293, substituting the value we get 13.08 mass flow rate। okay, so P is equal to M into Cp T2 minus Tm। sorry, I am written here meter cube per second, it is kg per second, actually it is not meter cube per second। okay, so P is equal to M Cp T2 minus T1, T2 We have calculated 466.7, T1 is 293 given, Cp 1.005 and we just calculated 13.08 kg per second, not meter cube per second. So substituting the value we get 2283.3 kilowatt. Okay, power we get 2283.3 kilowatt. Next is impeller diameter at inlet and outlet D1 and D2. Their relation is given, we have to calculate the value. Okay. For radial blade work output, the compressor is given by, we have seen this formula, phi s CBL2 square. We have actually formula was CW2 into CBL2. Now CW2 we kept it in terms of slip factor, because slip factor is given 0.9. So CW2 is written as pi s into CBL2. So it became CBL2 square by 1000 to make it kilojoule Cp T2 minus T1. Both formula are there for Boltzmann, this and this both. So here all the value we know. Okay, here pi s we know, 1000 we know. We are not knowing the blade velocity at outlet. So from this equation we get the blade velocity of outlet, because Cp is 1.005, T2 we have just calculated 466.7, T1 is given in the question, pi s it is given in the question. So from here we calculate CBL2 by putting it on the left side and rest of the thing on the right side, 440.4 meter per second. Now the CBL2 is also pi d n by 60, pi d2 n by 60. Okay, so this CBL2 is also pi d2 n by 60, which is already calculated 440.4 meter per second. So from here we can get the value of D2 as 0.8411. Now the relation is given, so D1 is half of D2, so 0.8411 divided by 2, it will give 0.4206 meter. So we get inlet and outlet diameter of the impeller. As radius is given, the relation of radius is given, the same will be of diameter. Okay. Next is width of impeller and inlet. We just seen in our last class that what is the formula of B1. So writing the volume flow rate, that is 2 pi R1 B1 CF1 into K1. We are multiplying here K1 because area coefficient is given K1. Otherwise we have taken 2 pi R1 B1 only. But it is given that effective area is 90%, so we have to multiply it by Ka. So from here B1 is equal to volume flow rate 660 by 60 in meter cube per second. 2 pi R1 we have just calculated D1, so R1 will be D1 by 2. Then 62 is our velocity of flow, it is given in the problem, and K is area coefficient, that is also given in the problem. When we solve this, we get B1 is equal to 0.1492 meter. Okay, so this is the fourth part of the problem. Okay, K is multiplied here because it is given that the effective area is not 2 pi R1 B1. We have to consider the 10% blockage because of blade width. So it is like that. Okay. Next is impeller blade angle at inlet. So from inlet velocity triangle, it is seen that beta 1 is tan beta 1 is equal to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is CF1, which is given. Base is CBL1, which we can calculate by pi d1 and by 60. Okay. So CF1 by CBL1. So rather calculating it as the diameter relation is given, so same will be the relation for blade velocity at inlet and outlet. It should be half of that of outlet, because diameter is half of outlet, inlet diameter is 1 by 2 of outlet. So blade velocity is also 1 by 2 of outlet blade velocity. So it is directly written 440.4 by 2, because we just calculated CBL2 as 440.4 here. Okay. So tan beta 1 is equal to perpendicular for base. So we can get tan beta 1 is equal to 0.2816, and taking inverse of it, beta 1 we get 15.73 degrees. Okay. Next, blade angle at inlet alpha 2. Okay. Alpha 2 again, tan alpha 2 is equal to CF2 by CW2. CF2 is equal to CF1, that is 62. It is already given. And what about CW2? We have not calculated CW2, but we know that CBL2. Okay, 440.4. And we know the relation between CW2 and CBL2, that CW2 by CBL2 slip factor, which is given 0.9. So CW2 can be replaced by 0.9 into CBL2. The same thing we have done here. 10 alpha 2 is equal to CF2 by CW2, and CW2 is replaced by pi CBL2. Okay, so pi 0.9 and CBL2 440.4. So we get 10 alpha 2 is 0.1564, and taking inverse we get alpha 2 is equal to 8.9 degrees. So this is a very simple problem. Just you have to know the velocity triangle and Q relation that already we have seen in our previous lecture. Let's come to next question. Again, very important question. The derivation we have done for slip factor, power input factor, and pressure coefficient, all those things will be used in this problem, so that you will get the use of, you can apply those formula that we got in our last class in some numerical. Okay. So let's start. A centrifugal compressor delivers 16.5 kg per second. Mass flow rate is given. टोटल हेड प्रेशर रेशियो मीन्स यहाँ पे क्या दिया हुआ है, RP0 दिया हुआ है 4:1, RP नहीं दिया हुआ है, P02 by P01 की वैल्यू दी है, नॉट P2 by P1, बिकॉज टोटल हेड प्रेशर रेशियो इज गिवन 4:1. The speed of the compressor is 15,000 rpm, it is given. Inlet total head temperature is 20 degree, means T01 is given 20 degree centigrade. Slip factor is again 0.9. Power input factor is 1.04, and isentropic efficiency is 80%. It is saying to calculate overall diameter of the empire, power input. Okay, two things is asked in this question. So first we have to write P1, that is m is equal to 15.5 kg per second, RP0 is equal to 4, n is equal to 15,000 rpm, T01 is equal to 290 Kelvin, 20 degree is converted into Kelvin by adding 273. Phi s it is given 0.9, that is slip factor. Phi w it is given 1.04, that is power input factor, and isentropic efficiency is 80%. So let's start with overall diameter of the impeller. For calculating overall diameter, we have to know the value of blade speed at output. Okay, so we are approaching towards that by first calculating T02 dash by T01 is equal to P02 by P01 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. This is for stagnation process from 01 to 02. Stagnation pressure ratio 4 is given, gamma we will take 1.4. So we can, from here we can calculate T02 dash, as T01 is given to 93 Kelvin. We get 435.4 Kelvin T02 dash. Okay, up to this it is very simple. Now isentropic efficiency is given. Okay, isentropic efficiency is given. So we can put the value of T02 dash minus T01 here, because both the things are given, known, but and T01 again is, so from here we can calculate the value of T02. This is isentropic temperature and this is actual temperature. So from here we get T02 is equal T02 minus T01, it is actually calculating 178, because we will equate the work later. Okay, work done is given by what, TP T02 by minus T01, and again work done is given by phi W phi S CBL2 square by 1000. We have already seen in our last class, work done is given by phi W phi S CBL2 square by, how it is given, that work done is CW2 into CBL2. For getting actual work we are multiplying it by power input factor phi W, and now CW2 is replaced by phi S into CBL2. Okay, so we will get this formula divided by 1000 to make it in kilojoule, so that, because we are keeping Cp in kilojoule, 1.005 kilojoule per kg. So from here right hand side value is known, phi W is 1.004, it is given, phi S is 0.9. From here we can calculate CBL2, and once we calculate CBL2 we can calculate D2. Okay, so substituting all the values and putting CBL2 on the left hand side, we get it 437.2 meter per second. Okay, very simple. Now CBL2 is also pi d2n by 60. Okay, pi dn by 60. So from here n is given, pi is known, 60, CBL2 is just calculated, so d can be calculated like, d2 can be calculated like 0.5567. Okay, so first part is over. Next is power input. Again power input will be m Cp T02 minus T01, m it is given, Cp we know, T02 we have calculated, T02 minus T01 actually we calculated 178. So by putting these values we get power input 2959.7 kilowatt. So both the problem are very simple, but only thing you have to remember the relations and few formula, so you will be able to do any problem that will come related to centrifugal compressor. And mostly this type of problem only came I had seen last 4 to 5 year question paper, and what I observed that if you are able to solve these 4 problems that we have discussed till now in centrifugal compressor, you will be able to solve any problem which will come in your exam. Okay, thank you. In next class we will start our axial flow compressor. Goodbye.